Good morning, everybody, here on Trading Within the Box here on May 11, 2024 here at around 11:51 a.m. We're going to be going over some weeklies, too, for this week has just ended. But first of all, this is not a recommendation to buy, hold, sell any stocks, futures, forex, or any equities or options. This is an educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional or the brokerage house of your choice, and they will help you there. Okay, so let's get to it. We got the S&P 500 here, ending the week off of 511 here. So let's shoot over to the weekly chart here, first of all, on the S&P 500, and let's see what the big picture is, okay? So we knew we had support on our last few videos we were talking about over the last few weeks here, that we were way at support on the 20-day moving average on the weekly chart. So, and this was no surprise because that's a major buy spot right there. Okay, so they're going to bounce them off, especially if they move to it for the first time. Okay, what they do is they'll come up and retest this area right here. Let's do the little ink here, right in this spot, right here, right in this spot. Then they'll probably just retest it again on that 20-day moving average to see if it holds. Okay, so let's do a little volume analysis and let's look at the weekly and what it has. Okay, so we had a high here on the week of March 25th on 519.80, and then on the week of April 1st, we had 524.38. So that's our swing point. And we had 367.268 million shares. This week, we have 237. So we're going in lighter into this area. So we have to be careful, see if it's going to fail here, okay, in this spot or make another all-time new high. Let's see if that's going to happen. At one point, we don't know. We just keep following money, okay? It's not a prediction. It's not an opinion. It's following money, okay? So always remember that when you're following the big guys, okay? So at the daily chart, we're going into this candlestick's monster sell area from April 4th, okay, which had almost 97 million shares. We went into that area on May 6th with 47, and we came into it May 8th with 42, 43, and then yesterday 52, okay? So we were going into this spot right here. Let's draw a little arrow, so onto this area, right into this spot with major lighter volume as you came down. So let's see, we had some profit taking here. And let's see if they're going to pull this back a little bit, okay? Let's see what's going to happen there on the S&P 500. Let's go to the XLF, which is the bank basket. The banks lead the way in the market always, and the SMH too, right? So we got here on the weekly candlestick of April 1st, you got 213.8 million shares, and you had 179. Okay, so you're going into it with lighter volume, okay, right there, okay? Again, it could be an M formation, okay? Let's see if that's what's going to happen there. Yeah, the perfect W formation here, as we remember what we were talking about, we held right in this area, and then we passed this area right here, and then we were going up to 41.86 like we had said, okay? We had a little increasing volume right there, okay, going into that spot. And what happened, now you got a doji Friday, okay? So, because, of course, you're right smack into it. Because the smart money, they don't buy heavy into resistance areas. They buy heavy into where? Support areas. And you can see it right there with the volume in this spot right there. See how you were all the way at the bottom of the stochastic. You had the W formation with the capitulation candlestick right there, and you went right into the supply spot, and you have a doji right there, okay? So on SMH, again, same situation with the doji and the supply area, okay? IWM with the speculators. Let's see what the speculators are taking the profits right there on Friday. Now let's go to the weekly chart, and we got this situation right here on the weekly chart. Same thing, going into a supply area with lighter volume, okay? Going into the candlestick on April 1st with that which had 149.51 million shares coming down, and going into that spot with 106 million shares, okay? So always remember that the weekly chart is going to give you the overall view, the large picture, the 20,000-foot view, okay, of what's going on. Okay, we go into the supply area, came down, we go into that gap area, okay, and they take profits, okay. There's no question about it. That doesn't surprise anybody there, okay, what's happening, okay. Let's go over to the whole world, Microsoft, because we have a lot of stocks to go over here, and the ones that we've been following. We had drew a few lines where all the these gray areas right here. I just had drawn some lines when we were trading this, okay, where the support and resistance areas were, and we had a lot of money on the order flow, which was right there in that spot, and they bought right off of that spot. Now you have 3-drive candlestick right here, and you're let's see what the volume is. Now let's look at the volume on Microsoft. We went into the candlestick, the downdraft candlestick of May 7th with 20 million shares, 14.6 and 13.4. So you're going into that area with lighter volume, okay? Let's see if they're going to inch their way up to the 416.46 area, okay? So that's going to be interesting. Now, remember, you have lighter volume as you're going up here. Look at the lighter volume as you're up in this spot here, okay? So always know where you are when you're looking at that. Now, on the weekly chart, okay, remember I had gone over this with you, and I had said, look at the capitulation gap. When you have two of those in a row, what is that? That's a move to the upside, right? Not every time, but probably at least 85 to 90% of the time you'll get that, okay? So you were moving into that area, and you're moving into this huge downdraft right now, okay, on that weekly chart, okay? So whenever you see those two huge capitulation candlesticks, boom, you get them in a row, they're not selling, okay, right in that spot, okay? They're not selling. You'll see it a little bit here, too. See, I had two in a row right there, and then boom, right there. Okay, so that's another one right there. Okay, so let's go over to Apple. Let's see what's going on with Apple. Now, on Apple with the weekly chart, remember what had happened. They had this massive gap up, right? And then they sold into it. And then now they're holding the post pattern, okay? So they're holding the post pattern on the, see the post right there and then right there, okay? So holding that post pattern right there, okay? So they haven't sold it and hasn't filled the gap or anything yet, okay? Yet, I'm saying. So let's see what's going to happen here. Now, you do have more sellers than buyers here, okay? You have more sellers than buyers on Apple in this area, okay? When we go over the 2-hour chart, okay, you can always play this on the 2-hour chart too. See the post pattern over here, right in the corner here, okay, and see it right here. It's holding. It's holding. Now, you want to see what's happening. You have a mixed bag on the 2-hour chart with volume. So you still have just a sideways consolidation, okay? So let's see what happens. When Home Depot did that last year, it had gone up and it made a drastic move to the upside, okay? So, but that doesn't mean anything, we're just following what they're going to do. So we want to follow, what do we want to follow? We want to follow what they're going to do after this. So right now you're in a sideways consolidation, trading within the box, see it? Right there, hanging up here in this area, okay? So you want to see exactly what they're going to do in this spot right there, okay? As we move along to NVIDIA now, NVIDIA, you got come up and above on April 11th candlestick. So you got up and above, and now you're holding support here. Now, when you get this, and you come up, and then you come back, you come up, you come back, come up, you come back, like in short terms, you'll see that that's a little bit on the weak side. See how you had these strong moves up to the upside here? There's a little bit of a strong move there. But you see how you just pull back. You go up, pull back, up, pull back. So that means they're buying it scared of taking the profit. Buying the scared taking the profit. So that's not strong, okay? So that's not strong. So you're going into, of course, the magnet candlestick right here. Look what happened. Remember that. Remember those right there, okay? Remember them. There's another one right there, okay? What happened? It magnetized right back up into the spot right here, okay? Right in that spot. Now you're going in with lighter volume as you're coming into the spot. Let's see what happens, okay? Let's see what they're going to go do on NVIDIA. Now, this is not a surprise because we held right here. We held right here at the 50-day moving average, and we got up and above. Now we're holding support again, okay? Now we're holding support again. Move over to the 2-hour chart, and you see the sellers in there, okay? Look at the sellers in there, right? that spot right there, okay, on NVIDIA, okay. Let's go over to Goldman Sachs. Go over to Goldman Sachs, and Goldman Sachs so strong. Look at that move. Okay, look at that move. How we had it right off 50-day. We came up, crossed up above. Now, this was the resistance spot that we had to get trading within the box right there. Boom, we get up and above, we hold, we get the buy signal again. We get a little bit of a sideways move, we get the buy signal again. Now, let's see if they're going to move this back to 444.32 in that range, and then we make another run at 461.93. This is not a surprise on Goldman because we were following it, okay? We just kept following it. And look at this. Look at the 3-drive candlestick right there. So we get right there up at the 452.7. Now you got a major, at 452.7, you have a major resistance area, okay? So on a weekly chart. So you always got to know where those support levels, those resistance levels are on a weekly chart. Now over here, it got up and above. We were right in this spot. We were crucial. We closed above it, okay? And then we moved up. Okay, so that was an incredible move, and it had good volume on Goldman, okay? On the 2-hour chart, okay, we do have some profit takers coming in on Friday, okay? And we're pulling back. Now, we're pulling back on a 2-hour chart only to see that what? Only to see that we're down here in this area. Then we're going to hold the support area. Let's see if we hold the support area, we make another move to 462.37. Okay, so that's what we're looking for next year. We want the stochastic to pull all the way back down. We want to hold the higher low. See how every time the stochastic pulls back, we hold the higher low. Okay, hold the higher low. Kept holding, and then we start moving up again. And then let's see what happens there. Okay, that's on Goldman. Now let's go back to the daily chart on Tesla. Okay, let's go over to Tesla. These are the stocks that we always follow. And when you follow them closely, you don't make as many mistakes because you're just following your own group all the time. You can't follow them all. But if you have one that you want me to look at, just send me an email and I'll look at it for you. Okay, so we're going over to Tesla, and on Tesla with the weekly chart. Okay, we come up. Now, what's this look like on a weekly chart? Okay, so we have the stochastic heading up. Okay. We come up into resistance. Now we come back and we close lower here, okay, for the week. Now we come up. Let's see if we're going to come back down and test this area here. Now, on Tesla, on a weekly chart, still in the downtrend here, okay? Overall picture still in the downtrend. Now, on a daily chart, we have a little bit of a break step pattern for a short, okay? Break step pattern for a short, okay? And on the 2-hour chart, okay, look at the sellers in there. Now, look at the sellers on Tesla, okay? So right there, can't hide the volume, right? When you were in this area, you had a mixed bag, right? You had a little bit of, but you had more sellers in that spot. And you have more sellers here and more sellers here. Now, as you get to this spot and it breaks below, okay, look at the sellers in there. Look how many sellers you have in there for a drop for a short, okay? Okay, that's a short, okay? So let's go over to Amazon. Now, Amazon, let's first look at the weekly chart on Amazon. Let's go over to AMZN, okay? So AMZN right here, what happens at support? Now, at support, we come to the 20-day moving average, and we have a major support level. And look how it's holding. Look how it's been a power stock here since all the way since October of 2023 on Amazon. Look how powerful this run has been. These are weeks. Each one of these candlesticks is a week. Held support. We hold the 9-day moving average, come up into resistance. We hold the sideways area. We get up, we come back. They buy it back. The earnings were good. And then, boom, come right back into this area. And we had a monster candlestick right there for earnings, okay? But you see how during earnings, it always does, right? It always has a lot of volume during earnings, okay? But they do come back to them. See how it came back here, okay? And then you'll see that as you get up here, at one point they'll come back to them, okay? I'm not saying now. This could be weeks and weeks and months away, but they will come back to them. That's how they do it, okay? Right here, got the Twin Towers of volume right there. okay? And you come up into the resistance area, now you have a sideways consolidation on a daily chart, okay? So we want to see exactly what they're going to do afterwards, okay? You want to see what they're going to do, always go over the 2-hour chart and follow it. Right now, you dropped a little below. So if you drop below the 50-day moving average with more selling volume, you're going to get a little bit of a pullback here, okay? So that's what it looks like here. Let's see, though. Let's see, because the stochastic's all the way at the bottom, and then we can get another run to the top. Let's go to now Home Depot is one we've been following a lot. So let's go over to Home Depot. And on Home Depot, look at the support area on Home Depot, right at support on the 50-day moving average as you're moving up here, okay? Look at that. See that right there in that spot? You held 2 times at this level, okay? So let's say you held right at the 50-day moving average, which is in the 355 range, okay? So 2 times you held, 2 weeks in a row you held there. That's a major, major, major support area, and you do have a nice resistance area at 350.70. So you had support at 333 area, and then you had the 350 area of a major resistance spot right there. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart and see where that is, and that's on the 50-day moving average, right on the daily chart. So let's see if they're going to pull this one back a little bit. How you'll know, okay, is you're at a crucial point. Are you going to be getting a trend change here on Home Depot, okay? So that's something that we just keep watching. Right there, we got support, we got engulfing, got a buy signal right there, and now we're at support again, and we have a stochastic moving down, okay? I want to see when that's going to turn, okay? So that you want to see also on Home Depot. So Home Depot has the crucial area right here. Right, let's see the line chart on Home Depot. We want to see, you really want to get a W formation on Home Depot on a weekly basis. You want to get it to pull back, close lower, and then get engulfed, and then you'll see about a trend change, okay? On, excuse me, on the daily chart, look how you had the W formation right on the bottom here. Now you get another one. If you get another one here and you hold and you come up and you surpass the 50-day moving average, you can get a trend change. Like we're going to start moving up again, okay, on Home Depot. So that's something that you got earnings. Don't forget about earnings, May 14th, okay, which was a bad day because we had lost a friend of ours on that day last year, okay? And all the love out to that family there. Okay, so Caterpillar, on Caterpillar, okay, you have the doji. Now you have the doji on going into the weekend here, okay? So you're going into a downdraft gap here, okay? So right here, and then you have the gap down, okay? So now you're going into that resistance spot, right into the spot here. This is not a surprise. You had a little bit of the W formation with the engulfing, and now you're into the resistance spot. So let's see on a weekly chart. Look at Caterpillar coming off that level. Now, you do have 361.46. You have overhead pressure there, okay? So at that 361.46. And as you go to the daily chart, you want to see what they're going to actually do right after that. So if you go to a 2-hour chart and you follow it, it's still holding the trend, okay, right now. It's still holding the small time trend, okay? Possibly to 360.68 cents, okay? Okay, so now let's go over to the weekly chart on Costco. Because at the end of the week, we like to go through the weeklies to see the overall picture. Now on Costco, look at the sideways move on a weekly chart with the bust out, okay, with the close higher. Okay, so those are really strong. 830.64 could be game on Costco, right? 860, what are we saying? 34. And right now on a daily chart, you're at a major resistance spot. So you want to see if you could get a pullback or if they're just going to keep running this monster, okay? 2-hour chart, the volume is amazing. And this is what you look for. This is what you look for. Look at the amazing volume on Costco. Look at that amazing volume. Okay, we got a little profit taking here because you have to get a little bit of a pullback to pull this all the way down. But look at the volume coming in. Look at the volume coming in. This makes this kind of volume you could sleep at night. You understand? Right here. This kind of volume you could sleep at night. Okay, you can put your head on the pillow. Okay, so right now you're in a little bit of a resistance on the 2-hour chart, so you want to see a pullback. You want to get this baby. You want to get this baby to come down, or if it just goes into, this is an embedded stochastic. Okay, that's what that is right there. Okay, so let's go over to UUP, and on UUP, the volume is light. Okay, so on UUP, look at here, right in this spot, you're pulling back, and you get a little bit of a buy here. Now, that's on a weekly basis. On a daily basis, you have this little area here you want to see if you're going to hold. You want to see if you're going to hold the W formation, the retest W right there. Okay, that's what you want to see on the UUP. On TLT, on the TLT, which is the 20-year bond, long position, okay, and let's go over to the weekly on this one and see what's happening. Now, you had a major resistance area right there, okay, so right there from let's say 91.09 down to $90, okay, whatever it was, right there you were gonna pull back there, okay, it's no surprise. Majors on the weeklies, those are the major spots of support and resistance. Now, you have a support level with an engulfing and then back down. So you have a W here, okay? And you have an M formation at the same time. Okay, let's see if they're going to stick with this, and then we're going to come back up to that. Let's see what's going to happen there, okay? On the GDX, which is the gold miners, and you always want to watch the gold miners in markets that are getting ready for, corrections, okay? You always want to watch the miners, okay? So, especially with mass inflation, right? Especially with mass inflation. So, look at right at the support level, that's where the buy was. You were all the way down on the bottom here, right there. And then now you're up into resistance in this spot right here. And you're going after these areas. Okay, now, when you go after these areas, you want to do volume analysis. Let's see what actually, this line, I just want to show you everybody something right here. So, let me just stretch this so you can see. This line right here that I drew, okay, we were going over the order flows, and look how it just sat right on there, okay? Look how that was major support as it pulled back. They bought it right off of that spot, okay? So always know where your support and resistance areas are. When you're into the, now, this is not a surprise by no means, again. This is almost exact every time. What is it? A monster volume stick, right? Came right into this area, pulled back, and then it was a magnet right back to it. The only difference here is we have much lighter volume here. So let's see when we're going to get this pullback to this moving average here. Okay, that's what we're waiting for, a pullback. And the short sellers are looking for a short back possibly. Okay, that's what they're looking for. Okay, so, and they're not looking for a big short here. They're just looking for a short to this next support level. Okay. Now on Dominion Energy, okay, look at this run on a weekly chart. Okay, this is an incredible run. And this is no joke because look at the 20-day moving average, how every time it pulled back to it, it just boom. And then what do you have here? Now look at this on a large basis here. You had 2 capitulation candlesticks right there. And then what happened after it? Boom. I keep teaching that, okay? On the 2 capitulation candlesticks, you get the monster move, okay? So on, you keep holding, you stick your head above, but you got the profit taken here, okay? So the energy stocks have been very solid right now, okay? They've been solid for, since April, middle of April, okay? So same thing with Duke Energy, kind of the same situation here. It almost looks like a carbon copy of it, okay, with Duke. But with Duke, you're way up into supply area here. So you got to be very careful that they're going to take the profits in that spot, okay. Let's go over to, not much more time, but let's go over to McDonald's. And on McDonald's, on a weekly chart, let's go over to the W formation here on the weekly chart, okay? It's right there. So I want to see. Now you have a lot of overhead pressure at right here, so let's see if it comes back and fails. And that's why you're going to need a lot of volume to get up and above that, okay, on a weekly basis, okay? So let's see, you get two capitulation candlesticks again. So let's see how we're going to get up into that spot, okay? Now look at the daily chart here. Remember what I told you in the last video. Remember what I told you about these right here. Remember, there's a buy signal right here, remember? That's a buy signal. Then you were at support, okay, and you have, what do you have? You have a head and shoulders looking pattern, okay, to the upside here. Okay, you have resistance at the 50-day moving average. The last time I went into it, it failed and came back. Now let's see. You have a engulfing candlestick with a lot of good volume here, okay, on McDonald's. So that's something I wanted to go over with everybody. As we were looking at all the stocks. Now you do have resistance also at 279.62. Okay, on a weekly chart. Let's go over the 2-hour chart and look at this. Now this is the volume that makes you sleep at night. Okay. Now let's see if there's going to get follow through volume. Look at that. Right up into resistance, you want to get a little bit of a pullback and then another engulfing, and then you're on your way. Okay. So that's what's happening right now with McDonald's Corporation. Okay. Let's go to Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola, if we look at the weekly chart, what do we have? Look at the buying this week, okay? Right in this candlestick right here. Okay, we're going up right into the spot, and we're going into this candlestick from the week of May 15, 2023, okay? So we get a little less volume coming in this week here, okay? So because you had an incredible run right there on Coca-Cola. Daily chart on Coca-Cola, reaching into that spot right there, okay? Right into that spot, which will be the resistance at 63.76, okay? Procter & Gamble, let's go over to Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble sitting smack right into resistance area. Let's hit it on the weekly chart and see exactly what's happening. And look how we've been going over Procter & Gamble since it came off a major support line. So this was a gift, another gift right here. Major support area right here at the 20-day moving average on the weekly chart on Procter & Gamble. And right here, you had the buy signal for a 4-week run, okay, so far. Could even go even higher. And when we were looking at it right here, we weren't looking down here, but we were looking right in this spot, 157 to 158, okay? And now it's 166.85 at close that. So those are obviously incredible buy areas. Okay, look at that right there, right into that spot. Okay. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, share my channel if you like the content. Have a wonderful week. Happy trading next week.